Testing. Okay, testing, testing. See what we got here. See if we got some sound check. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for that crash out, but I guess we're getting too real. That's the conversation was a little too real for the YouTube streets. But we are back here. So welcome to part two. Welcome to part two of Delphi Injustice Incarnate. And I apologize while I get my things together here. I got a lot of getting together to do here. Let's see. We're going to live streams. Make sure we're popping. Wow, has that other one crashed? What is going on with my deal tonight? Let's see if we're rolling. Okay. All right. All right, so let's see. For this one, we are definitely this makes no sense whatsoever, y'all. Okay. Makes no sense. I don't understand what's happening with this all this tonight. Are we back live? Yes or no? Hmm. Oh, looks like we're rolling. Or are we froze up? Let's see. Okay, looks like we're rolling. Let me make sure we got sound. It's still freezing up, isn't it? Wow. Okay, well, regardless, we'll try to plug on ahead. We'll try to keep going. All right, so welcome back. Who knows what's going on? We're here. Technological issues must be Delphi related. Yeah. Maybe I should go delete the past 70 days of live streams because that's what happens. That's the type of things that happen. That happens randomly. All right. So we got Heather back in here, Meow back in here, Shibby back in here, Abigail. Please go let the people in the comment section on the one that just crashed. Someone please go let them know we're in this stream now. Please let them know we're back up and rolling. They might not know we're here. So yeah, we're back. Okay, so we're having a good talk with Mark, and wow, what on earth is happening with these people, man? Let's see. Okay, can I even get into my main channel here? Oh, perfect. Okay, we are now back. I see. Okay, we're back 100%. Okay, tip top shape. Happy Monday night, y'all. 11/11. 11/11. Can't keep us down. Yay. Woohoo. Okay, yeah, please let everybody know. All right, please let everybody know we're back and running. Go to that other comment section on the one that just crashed and tell everyone to get over here, please. I'm sorry that happened. Hey, I can't control these applications here. Okay. So, yeah, we were talking to Mark, and maybe we'll get him back on here and some others. Why don't some others of you do me the honor of come talk with us? Okay, please talk with us. We would appreciate that. Okay, Steve says, this case was not seen or heard by anyone. Only diehards to the case watch, 10 note takers. Most people got mainstream local news or gray douche and the like. Yeah. Yep. It was she put up a wall of secrecy around this case, and that's exactly what happened. And why has this case been shrouded in secrecy since day one? Remember, they even lied about the times that they found the bodies. Remember that? Okay, sweet dude Shibby, no hurry, prof. We're popping the hugs. Take your time. All right. Question in crime. I'm so upset. Unbelievable. No justice for Abby and Libby. How sad. Yeah. How about bury the truth with a patsy? Let's do that. All right. So that's what's up. Okay. So we are good. What's up, Heather? We're not freezing. So we're back to square one. What the hell, dude? We got Delphi'd. We got Delphi'd, y'all. Let me put that in the chat. We got Delphi'd. Talk was getting a little too real. Okay. All right. So let's see we got here. You said Delphi'd. I say Delphi'd. Yeah. So can't keep us down. Right. We're back. So let me get the links back up here. All right. So what's up, Christine? All right, Christine. Hey, we weathered the storm. We're back in here. We're up and rolling. Oh, look, we got another troll here. Putting it up on the screen for legal purposes. Okay. There you go. That's definitely CJ, because CJ hates women. There we go. So let's get CJ on out of here permanently. Okay. Wife beater, CJ. Victimizer of women. Okay, let's see. Perfect. So we're good. Now, Adrian's not in here, though. Let's make sure she knows we're good. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Now, good to see you all. Let me get myself together here. Geez, that was a hiccup. Okay. All right. So thanks for everybody for being patient with us while we deal with these technical difficulties. Let me see. Because we're not quitting tonight. Okay. All right. So sorry about that crashing. We're back. All right. So now where are we? Okay, so we are back. So we had a little technical difficulty that crashed us out, and now we're back. So we're good to go. So I'm going to get things rolling again. Um, and want to thank everyone for coming in. Please tell everybody we're live. We were on another stream and it just crashed after 2.5 hours, so I had to restart the stream. And now now we're in the new stream. So if you see anybody lingering, tell them we're over here in the new stream. Okay, the world will keep watching. Yes. Okay, here we go again. Hey, Adrian, you're back. Okay, Momo Shark says, just found your channel. Well, we're so glad you found us, Momo Shark, and welcome. We're all nice here, except CJ keeps coming in and with different accounts to try to terrorize us, but that's okay. We're going to terrorize him pretty soon. All right. Thank you for keeping a place to hear the truth. Yeah, we're here. So yeah, please hit the like also. Please hit the like. Please go ahead and join the chat if you're just... Yeah, it crashed. Yeah, it was not done for the night. It crashed up on Mark and I. But please go ahead and hit the like, support the channel through the various support pathways. And if you're in the linger or lurker or mullingering crew, join the chat because we're happy to be here. We want to talk to you, and we're definitely here for you guys tonight. It's been a long, hard day. Exactly, Christine. And we are here for you and for each other. And hey, we're in the Delphi Vortex. Good to see you here, but we will keep going, okay? So we had that first installment. I guess we're in part 2 now. Okay. Part 2. So glad you're back. So glad everyone is back. Okay. Okay, so let me go ahead and get us rolling here. All right. Thanks, Prof. Phone moving around. Plugin is a talking point. You can't handle the facts in Delphi. You cannot handle the facts. The facts are kryptonite. Okay. Was really enjoying the conversation. Me too. Okay. Totally lost faith in our justice system. And am I alone in these thoughts? No, you're not. It's called the awakening. It's the awakening. It's Apocalypse Delphi. Welcome to Apocalypse Delphi. We welcome you all. We're so glad that you're here for our viewing of the apocalypse and Delphi Doomsday. I've been saying it's approaching, and it has. So let's get this going again. We got a lot to do here. I got to pin these. Okay, so we got to go pin this. These are for our guests. And give me a moment. Let's make sure we're good to go. Okay. You think Carroll County shut us down? Well, we were saying pretty bad things. Were we not? Were we not? Okay. Making an apple pie to soothe yourself. Perfect. I made some coffee to soothe myself and ate a pizza to soothe myself. And I got to admit, guys, I didn't want to, normally I don't eat on the stream. But while we were restarting, I went and I grabbed a couple things. Okay. I went and I grabbed a couple things. So I'll be eating chocolate. I'll be soothing myself with chocolate. Okay. And so forgive me for eating on the stream tonight. That will keep me going because I don't want to be drinking. I don't want to, how would I say? I don't want to fade out, and I don't want to be up all night by drinking coffee at this point in the evening. So I'm going to eat some chocolate while we talk, and hopefully we don't get shut down again. What's up, Rolamata? What's up, Prof? I was watching the other live and realized I was watching a replay. Yeah, sorry about that. It crashed out. So boom, boom, 1111 portal 2 for the awakening. Yeah, it's Apocalypse Delphi. Welcome to the end of the world. Okay, we're all with you, Prof. But sadly, there will be nothing done in this case for 2 more years. After today is going to be a tough hang-in. Yeah, it's going to be a rough go, but that's okay. We're good. You know why we're good? Because we're going to spend the foreseeable future exposing all the lies, every single lie. We're going to go to all out war. So the war has started. Okay. So we'll have all the wars that you ever wanted. Okay. Okay. So we're going to war with the lies. Okay. Now, okay, give me a moment. Okay. All right, just pardon me. Just pardon me. Let me get my myself together. Okay. All right, let's see if Mark comes back and Adrian. And let's see if anyone else wants to join. Um, I parked the link here at the top of the chat. So you join the chat, you'll come on in. And in the meantime, I'll probably start eating a little something here while you guys get together. Yeah, let's all do some stress eating. Let's all do some stress eating tonight. Sounds good? Oh, look at this beautiful wedge here. Okay, I'm going to get into that. All right, let's see what we got here. Who's saying stress eating? Let me put that on the stream. All right. Everybody's too busy sucking farts out of the state's ass. Don't realize this is not true justice for Abigail and Liberty. No, it's not. It is absolutely not. Okay. Now, who was saying stress eating? I want to put that on the stream. On the screen. That looked pretty damn good. Oh, look, Mark's here. We're going to get Mark up. Okay. Oh, that's Nancy Drew. Bought a pie. Stress eating. Hey, welcome, Mark.
Welcome.
Sorry about that. We had a catastrophe, a all-out crash of both streams.
Well, I'm gonna. Okay, I had to take YouTube off there, so we had a double voice of you. I don't feel so bad. I had to turn my laptop off and turn it back on. And it seems like here we go again with these trolls. They want to start trouble. I mean, too bad. I hope you can block those trolls.
Yeah, I block them as they come, but you know what they go do is they go make a new account. Every time I block them, they go make a new one. 20 minutes later, they're back. The idiots.
Hey, well, no, I appreciate all the people that said about our conversation. I liked it. I appreciate that. Uh-oh, I just lost.
And they mean it, Mark. They're not pretending here. They do appreciate.
Who had the cookies? Who made the cookies?
Nancy Drew.
Oh,
Nancy,
damn!
no,
I have
Nancy
one.
Drew says peach pie.
Oh, I'll have that too. Yeah. No, there's just as I'm after resetting my laptop and everything out and going over my notes and stuff. Like, why did it take 5 years for them to find Richard Allen? That's the problem. Did they have to find him as a scapegoat? I don't know. Or did they need to find a scapegoat? That's what I mean.
Yeah, working in very public jobs the whole time.
I don't know. It's just frustrating. I know it's frustrating to you and to our YouTube friends.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's frustrating. So, I mean,
Adrian wishes she had chocolate.
Wait. Hey, tell her we have chocolate.
Well, you know, sometimes the stress eating is good because, I mean, the point of me doing this stream tonight is that we have to be human. We have to give ourselves the grace of enjoying life, finding peace, and continuing to move forward with the wherewithal that we have within us. So sometimes it's necessary to do this to enjoy each other as
Yeah.
people, as human beings, and you can't let the stress eat you up because it'll kill you. And
Oh
a
no, it's
lot
so
of
much stress.
people, yeah,
It's just how do I say it? Saying kind words. We got screwed in this case. The people got screwed because they found him guilty and not guilty. That's the whole thing. That's what I think. That's why everybody's stressed out. It's just I don't know. I don't know what it's considered a railroad job. I mean, I don't know. I'm not making excuses for the courts or nothing like that. They're just blind. And I think they blindsided all of us, all the YouTubers, the good YouTubers, not the trolls. I could care less about the trolls. But
yeah. I
thank
mean,
you,
it
Mama
really.
Bear.
Someone said in here, and I was thinking this earlier today before the first stream. I was thinking how this is an assault on we the people. It really is. Good evening, Truth Seeker. Why don't you join the stream, Truth Seeker? Come on the stream.
Come on, we need more people.
I love Truth Seeker. She's amazing. All right.
Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we don't get disconnected again. And I still say we should have had a jury from out of state, not the state of Indiana. I think the verdict would have been a lot different. In my that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
not having those sketches on there, that stunk. They didn't want, as I said, that's why they didn't want cameras in there. They don't want to see the truth, and the truth is going to come out.
Well, you know what's funny, Mark? From day one, I said that. She didn't want them damn cameras in there because she didn't want the people to see the truth about what was going on there and the shit show that it was going to be. And God damn it, we were right.
Yeah, somebody said the cameras were there, but they were all covered up.
Yeah. Yep. Sure were. That's
So
the thing. There's already a camera there set up for this.
but old. I hate to call her what the people YouTubers are calling her. I'm not going to say it. I'm a gentleman.
We'll be
I don't like
gentlemen.
to cuss.
Yeah.
I don't like to cuss on YouTube. But I don't know. We just gotta. I just pray and hope and pray that the FBI comes in involved, because I think there is corruption in there, and just seeing what happened today, there's corruption. I don't. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, we have the say so. Nobody else has the say so but us. You know, this is going to go on. Hopefully, he does not get hurt while he's in prison until he gets his retrial. I'm praying for that. Because if he gets that, then we know the truth. And then the what do you call it? The nights will start falling down. Bam, 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 bam. And Delphi will have an all new county seat and all new people and all new judges, all new sheriff's department, everything else like that. Do you remember Sheriff Buford T. Pusser?
Yes, I do.
It's from Tennessee. It didn't like the corruption in his town. That's the kind of sheriff we need. Buford Pusser. That's the kind of sheriff Delphi needs. Because he died for what he thought was right.
Welcome back, Mark, says K West. Thank you, K West. Or Westy. Thank you, Westy.
That person's not a troll, right?
No, he's awesome. He's all
Okay.
that's a little $5. He's saying F the
Okay,
troll
no
farm.
problem. I don't want to.
FBI can recover anything.
Did the FBI ever get their stuff back that they gave to the police department?
No, but I think that there's no way the FBI gave back anything. I think they kept copies and gave back the originals. But do you think the FBI would actually just give back everything and pretend it
No,
never
no, no, they're
existed?
too smart. I think Carroll County, the state, Delphi, and the other things, they were afraid of the FBI finding what what they had. They were worried. That's why Dick Carter, told them to get the H out of town.
Yeah, he said, kick rocks. We don't want you to see what the fuck's going on here. Yeah.
That's it. Bottom line. Oh, somebody likes. Yeah, we just. Hey, do you remember they showed um, Patty's house, Libby's room that was painted purple? Do you
Yeah,
remember that?
sure.
Something don't smell right there either.
Really suspicious to have fresh paint, fresh drywall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was paint. There was like they did something. There was dust on the floor and everything else. Something's not. I mean, I'm sorry. I know it looked like freshly colored purple. That's.
I
I
mean, to
mean,
be honest, that almost looks staged too, because they just left they had a whole story with the outlet covers and the blah blah blah, and they said, "Oh, look, we had just painted the room. I don't know what
yeah,
happened here. Never mind this."
something's not right there. But I just can't get my hands onto that. What happened? If it happened in that, could have happened in that room too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something could have happened.
But we don't know.
We don't know. Hey, Deanna, come on back. Deanna was backstage, but she glitched on out, so hopefully she comes back. Thank you, Deanna. Come on back. Yeah, I mean, there's that's the thing with this whole Delphi case over the years. There's so many red flags, and people.
Professor, do you remember what Becky Patty says? They got the girls. They have the girls. What does she mean by that? Do they? You know what I
Who is
mean?
they? Who is they?
Yeah. They have them. Whoever them were.
Were they kidnapped or held for ransom, or
I
who?
don't
Or did
know.
a gang take them and go rape them, or like who had the girls?
Or did she know and she just did it to try to? How do you say it? Try to
Oh,
give us
to
a curve. You know what I mean?
deflect? Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I think that's what it is. But I mean, I can't prove it. That's the whole thing. I was hoping it would be a not guilty, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it shocked there. I think it shocked a lot of people on YouTube, the good guys on the YouTube.
I mean, it's the cognitive dissonance that you get when you're shocked like that. It's
Yeah.
like it took some hours for me to even be able to talk about it, because it's like,
It's gonna.
what the
I
hell?
mean, what are you gonna tell your kids? This is what justice is all about. You
Ooh,
know what I mean?
that's nasty. Yeah, that's nasty.
And why did Becky Patty put that book on Libby's bed so that the interviewer could see it? Why didn't Mike Patty want the shack to be said on when they were interviewing him? He didn't want no thing on the shack.
No Shaq, no Cody, no Derek.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, why not? The unmentionables.
And I know some of the YouTubers, not you, but other ones, I'm not going to mention, they're friends with the Patties.
Oh, of course, all of them. All of them.
So that's why I don't get on here often, but you had things that I knew. You had things we were talking about. We had something in common. That's why I got on here and everything else like that. I wouldn't trust any of those trolls if they were the last person on it. That's the thing. I wish other people would come in here so we can talk.
Yeah, we had beautiful Deanna was here, but she clicked on out, and maybe Adrian will come if I ask her nicely. Diamond Eyes. You guys join the hit the link to join and come on in the panel. We'd love to have a panel here. Uh, I want to give you all the opportunity to come speak your mind. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. Oh, look, she's back. Oh, yay. Yay. Here we go. Hey, Deanna.
Hey,
Well, loud and clear.
okay. Um,
Hi.
haven't been on panel before. Hi.
Oh, well, hey, first time. Welcome. Everyone, please say hi to Deanna, y'all.
Hi, Deanna.
You know I talk a lot, but I just haven't come up on panel.
Well, how you feeling? I mean, I can only imagine, but yeah.
Oh, I expected it. I mean, but of course I don't think it's like it should have been. But I can barely hear you guys.
Okay, are you from Indiana or are you from somewhere else?
I'm from crazy Kentucky.
Kentucky, well, you're right there. And the one of the things I wanted to say to Mark earlier when he was asking is I wanted to say there's not many people from Kentucky who've come into Indiana to Delphi, but there's lots of connections between Kentucky and Delphi in particular. When we've studied all the networks, so I didn't want to say there's no connection to Kentucky. There's lots of connections to Kentucky, including Brad Holder and Patrick Westfall, I believe, spent some time in Kentucky when they got out of military.
Oh, we got somebody else coming in.
Oh, hey, welcome, Suzanne.
The groups are.
Hi.
The groups are coming in.
Can you see me? Hi.
Yeah. Hi, welcome.
I am Elemental Divinity. And when I was signing in, it had me sign in under my government name for my YouTube. So
Sorry about
this
that.
is me.
I'll call you Elemental.
Whatever. Go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
So I followed this for years, not as deep as y'all, but in the last several weeks been, getting deeper into these chats and Snay and Noe and the prof. And in the beginning, I was originally following the Lawyer Lee's and Andrea Burkhart's and HTC. For the people out there who can't quite understand what circumstantial situations, I mean, would you allow me to just share a brief story, something that happened to me? I was almost caught up in something. I was almost caught up in something years ago because I had a previous boyfriend who I hadn't talked to in years. All of a sudden, I get a call from my local sheriff asking if I was so-and-so and had previously dated a so-and-so years before. Yes. Well, come down. We'd like to talk to you about a burglary. And I'm like, okay, I'll come down. But if my mother can come and my roommate can come, I wanted witnesses. Turns out they showed me a picture of someone. I didn't know who the someone was. They showed me footage of a female looking like me with my hair at an ATM committing one of those ATM fraudulent check scam things, who'd been related to the guy. Had my mother not been there with me to say, oh, well, that's her cousin on her dad's side. She's never met him. She doesn't even know who he is. And that's not her. She doesn't have a white purse. And showing them my receipts online of my payroll and my time logged in at a job. This sheriff was really trying to, at first, get me alone. But I knew I didn't do anything. And it turns out that the cousin who I'd never even met had done a job at this person's house and stole his checkbook. And because we had the same last name, the boyfriend thought I had something to do with it, and I didn't. And I was cleared. But the case, it would have been all circumstantial. I looked like the female in the video, but I didn't own a white purse at that time, and my mom attested to that. And plus, I also was elsewhere. And had I not gone down with my mother, because I didn't even know this was my cousin. I mean, circumstances are a huge thing. So Could they have charged me on circumstances? Sure. And then I would have had to have proven something later. So I just wanted to point that out. That's how things can happen. So always have a witness, always have your location on, always cover your ass.
Yeah, and actually, what I would say, even next level now, from now on, never talk to another cop. Tell them right away, I need a lawyer. Fuck you guys, I need a lawyer. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A
Pardon
question I
me.
want to ask you, this panel. Professor, you know Shane Evans, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you see how he walks?
Oh yeah.
Do you
Did
see
you see
how
the
Bridge
video?
Guy walks?
Yes.
That he lives 6 minutes from the bridge?
Yes.
Yeah, it amazes me. And now he's a judge, supposedly a judge.
Well, you know, first they brought him into the prosecutor's office to help with this sham,
Mm-hmm.
and now he keeps getting graduated on up. That's how they do, in my opinion.
Seems
Yeah.
to me all these characters could fit in just as much circumstantially as Richard Allen, if not more. You could just lay it all out with their face and who they are and where they live and all of their alibis for the day and what's known about them in the town. And you could eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then it just ended up on Richard Allen for all we know.
I got another question for all of us. They said that they went to the Mohawk Bridge on February 13th. Okay, that's what they're saying. What if they went February 12th? There.
Mm-hmm.
My
And that
question
That
is
video
only
with Kelsey and her, could that have been from another time?
it's all possible. But what about Abby having some, well, again, partially coagulated blood when they found her, but Libby's was dry? Is that still a fact? Is that still, I mean, how do you equate that?
I don't have the answer for that. I just wish I had the $63 million question. Who's the real killer?
I think since they didn't do a liver temp, they don't know, and they were trying to have probably plausible deniability, so
How
that
do
they
you
wouldn't.
not do a liver temp?
Well, they didn't. They said they
No.
didn't check their temp because it would have messed up the sex or the kit. The
Correct.
right.
If it was rectally, but usually you
It's
just
supposed to be liver.
you put it in the liver and you deduce the math. It's a
Okay.
simple equation.
Right. I agree.
Just makes no sense at all. Doesn't make any sense, any of it.
But that gets me with the coagulated blood, but Libby's was dry, so it almost implies that Abby might have been incapacitated somehow, and that I don't know. How would her
But
blood dry last if
her
she
We know
wasn't
wounds
initially?
severe, right? Her wounds weren't as. So I mean, Libby would have bled out faster. I mean, just to kind of say it that
Mhm.
way.
Abby held on maybe for a moment, but she had the phone under her back.
And then I just read in the PCA from the original one that the phone was found under Libby.
no,
Huh?
I know
no.
it's not true. I mean, because that's not what they're saying now, but that's initially what the PCA said.
Which
I can
which
send it
PCA?
to you.
Because I haven't seen that at all. Which one?
It's the first one, and I've got it. I'll send it to you.
Please email it. Yeah, I want to look at it. I mean, a lot of things. I haven't heard many people talking about this, but I think it's really important. Are the markings on Abby, which would lead one to believe she was bound in the face
Mhm.
or something like that, but with no adhesive, so it's not duct tape or anything like that.
I believe it was a belt. When I heard that, I was thinking belt of some kind, belt or restraint, something
Right.
that wouldn't leave. That was my first guess, was a belt. She's tiny. Maybe I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Noe, are you here? You popped in. I don't hear you.
Yeah, good evening. I'm here.
Are you falling asleep, Noe?
No, I just woke up.
Oh yeah.
How are you, Noe? And how was Rick? I was on his live when he found out the guilty verdict was there, and then he shut her down.
Uh, I had separated from the everybody. I started walking towards the west side of the building, and when I reached the area where, well, I can think of this guy's name. He's not Bob Seagull, but the other main one who's been
Bob,
covering. He's a
Bob
tall.
Mata?
No, 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 no. I can't even think of the channel he's with. He's tall, older, white hair, and today he was wearing a hat. McQuaid, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he's
Okay.
far more full of shit. Russ McQuaid. He's far more
Him,
full of shit. Yes.
him right there. Him. He was live, and his crew was on the west side of the building. Um, and I agree, he's full of shit, full of ego as well.
That one ended up in and I just kept scrolling, but I saw that he did an
Okay, so
interview.
yeah, he was going live. He was re- reporting to his channel. So I've been listening to some of them, just to see if I could find out something, because I thought they might get the first scoop at things. I mean, I've seen that guy walk up to the door and talk to deputies, and then go back to his camera crew, and you know go directly live on their channels. So yeah, I walked in that direction, and I what I'll do is I'll usually stand behind the crew and kind of listen to what they're reporting live on their channels. Uh, so I was standing listening to him, and then we heard the sirens go off, which that indicated that either and the vehicles where they bring Richard Allen, he was either arriving or leaving, right? They're like very quick, maybe very short sirens. They'll go like real loud and take off. So he turned around. We all turned around and looked at the vehicles, and they were leaving. So then he started saying that indicates that they're taking Richard Allen back to Cass County, which would either be for, to process him, to release him if he was found not guilty, or to keep housing him there if he was found guilty. So that's the type of stuff that he was saying. And then, not even 5 minutes after those vehicles left on the west side of the building, where they had the barricades, and it was the side of the building where they designated for all the movement of jurors and attorneys, etc., judge. Um, yeah, I was still watching this guy, like within, I was within feet from him as he was going live on his channel, trying to find out what was going on, and I looked, like I looked towards the main entrance, which that would have been on the north side of the building, and two ladies came out. I couldn't tell who they were, but they were dressed in black. So when they approached the crowd, then I started hearing people screaming, right? And at first I didn't quite understand what they were saying. So when I heard the commotion over there, I started walking back to the crowd, and then I heard Frank Meister was actually the one that I was able to listen to and hear him clear. You know how he's got a real thick voice
Yeah.
and loud. He said guilty, and as I approached the crowd and got closer, everybody was saying, I heard Greeno, and everybody's celebrate. And I was kind of like in denial for a while, for a few seconds. I was like, no, this, I'm not hearing correct what's going on. No way. But by the time I made it to the crowd, it was Bart McDonald's and I think Julie. They had dressed in, they had black outfits. And when I saw the sign that Bart McDonald's was holding, I immediately got in my truck.
What did they say?
She had she was holding a card, and it had the 4 counts, and on all 4 counts it said guilty.
Mm. Stop.
I saw Snay, and Snay looked very shook and very uncomfortable. So I said, "Hey, Snay," and he came to my window, and he was like, we just stared at each other, man. We didn't know what to say. And then I said, you want to get in my car and we can go somewhere?" And he said, all that came out of his mouth was, "This is BS. This is BS. There's no way. There's no way." And then he said, "Kathy." And I said, "Oh shit." So I got out of my car and I said, "Come on, let's go." So we walked around to the other side of the building, which the east side of the building. I didn't want to go through the crowd, so I just walked on the street, man. I went behind the vehicles. You know how Courthouse building parking, they're the slanted spaces, So I said, let's go this way. And everybody was just freaking out because there was clearly a lot more people there who thought that there was no way he was going to be found guilty. And everybody was just freaking out. And the crowd that was celebrating started walking like in the direction where I came from, which was the west side of the building. And, that would have been people like Frank, Greeno, and Jinx, and Bossy, and Marv.
My
And then,
drunk uncle Marv.
yeah, others others that I don't recognize their names, but I'm wanting to say if there was about 300 people out there, it was no more than 30 to 40 people. You could clearly see them, the crowd divide slowly. Well, we made it towards the gazebo. We're gonna hang right to go to the west side of the building. That's where they had allowed Kathy Allen and her family in because there was no way they were gonna let her in the main entrance. Of course, that's where everybody was. The media and the crowd was like closer to. And we waited, Rick and I waited at the steps because we were not allowed to touch the lawn. Okay.
Oh,
We
that's
were only
right.
allowed on the sidewalks of all 4 sides of the building. And we waited there until she came out, and sure enough, the attorneys came out first, walked right by, and I couldn't make eye contact with any. Rosie was the first one, and Max, and then the other two, and then right behind came Kathy, Janice, her husband, and maybe one more family member that I couldn't recognize. So, and of course, Bob Mata, and there was tears in everybody's face, man. Even Bob Mata. So we joined them and walked them to where they were parked, I suppose, the family. And right before they got in their car, we all hugged. You know, we gave Kathy hugs and Janice hugs and shook her husband's hand and Bob Mata and the two PIs were there. And then they got in their car. Oh, and you guys know Christy was there as well. We all gave hugs to each other. And the word was, it's not over. That's all there was to say. And I'm sorry, and we love each other, and keep fighting and be strong. And it's not over. And then Snay and I started to come back to my vehicle, which I was the one parked right in front of the crowd, right in front of the north side of the building. And I kept telling Snay, please get in my car, dude. I can't be by myself right now. It's just like my heart was beating so fast. And I can't even tell you what I was thinking of because it was all like uh, confusion, unbelief. I don't know what else to say. And Snay said, I really got to go, Noe. I got to return that vehicle I rented by a certain time. And I was like, oh shit, well, go do it, bro. Go. If you got to do that, just go get on your way. Because it was pretty much time like for him to get back in Indy, the Indy vicinity and return that vehicle. So I said, man, I won't hold you back. Just go do what you got to do, right? It's more important. And then came Julie, crying, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So Julie said, "No, please help me." And I said, "What do you need?" I need, I need my chairs. I need my chairs. They obviously by that time the girls that were with her, everybody had split apart. You know, gone in different directions. There were still a lot of people there. Most of the people who who was just in shock, man, and surprised. Nobody could believe it. I mean, that's all people could say. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that 12 members of the jury would have voted all four guilty with the amount of evidence they had. And I said, "Yeah, Julie, I will help you." And I grabbed her chairs, put them in my car, and waited in my car. And Julie was talking to Lawyer Lee and Andrea, and I just waited inside my car. When she finally said goodbye to them and got in my car, which that could be anywhere between 5 minutes to an hour with Julie. This time it was just maybe I waited for her for about 10 or 15 minutes, and uh, she got in the car, and same thing. this is BS. This is BS. There's no way that these people, what happened? What happened with this jury? What happened with this jury? There's no way. Drove her to her car. I didn't want to be alone. I needed to be with someone. And I didn't want to drive home from Delphi to Wabash. I was not very comfortable with driving home, and I don't understand why. I just didn't want to be alone and did not want to drive home. So I got in her car. We parked. She was like 2 blocks away. She parked by the Catholic church there in Delphi, and I pulled behind her, and we got in her car, and she immediately went live with Teresa. So I just stood there and sat there and listened. And when I figured out that was going to be a long process, Teresa goes on for a while, and Julie can have a lot to say. And at times, I decided that I was just going to sit there and listen. And when I remember that I had met several people who introduced themselves and exchanged contacts with, who have met me on chats, etc. So I start texting people, and somebody offered me that I was welcome to their home and have dinner and just process the thoughts. And that's what I had to do. So I ended up going to Lafayette, and I sat with a lady who usually she'll be on Prof's chat, and several others, not many. I think she only followed like 3 main Delphi channels. But I was able to process and then learn a lot of what her thoughts were in regards to something larger than just Carroll County, LE, and people with power in this area of North Central Indiana and the region, like the Midwest, and eventually across the country. It's something other than just what's going on here. And she shared her thoughts because she grew up with a family who was part of that movement, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Her grandfather, she shared stories about her grandfather and things that she remembered witnessing her grandfather do. Type of shit like what Nick McClelland's grandfather used to do. If you guys understand what I mean.
Generationally, stuff like that can continue to just trickle down.
And she always, she even told me that, she had been married in the past and, have had relationships in the past, but she even told me that at one point she dated a man of color just to go against her family, specifically her grandfather. Yeah, so these thoughts and conversations were shared. So it allowed me the time to process what had just happened. And she offered to cook something and feed me dinner. So I was at her home for about 2 to 3 hours. And then I feel comfortable enough to go and keep going and come home. I think I got here around 8 p.m., maybe 9, 8, 8:30, somewhere in there. And started looking at reports on different, like, like the prosecution side. And like I saw part of Frank Meister, which maybe I saw 20 to 30 minutes of what he had to say with Kristen and Raucus joining them, then Thomas Ross. And it was hard. And then I went to Thomas's channel where he had gone live. I watched a replay portion of his earlier. Then I went to Lee, Andrea, and then the mainstream media. And then I fell asleep. And right
And
now
here you are.
I just woke up.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I guess I talked to the prof too as I was leaving Lafayette. I got on the phone with him while I was driving. Yeah, I forgot to mention that, but then he said I gotta go and get ready for this. And I hung up and so forth. So that's what's happened with me since the verdict was announced.
I'm going to get off of here, but before I do, to anybody listening out there, if it were me and I had anything substantial for the defense pertaining to specifics and details, if it were me, I would be violating gag orders and I would be meeting with his attorney. And if they didn't want me to violate it or they wanted my information, I think it'd be worth it. But as a whole, all this other stuff, there needs to be a higher elevation to the FBI or something like that. So that's
Yeah.
what I'll sign off with is please, if you can find it worth it and you have something really good, might just be worth violating and getting a contempt.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me join your community and thank you for bringing me up here. I'll see you in the chat.
And come back. Good night. Good night.
Who was this? Who's this? Who's this?
Elemental divinity, but this is my real name. So I'm Suzanne Snow.
Okay. All right. Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, Deanna. Deanna,
Yeah.
you'd like to say anything? I'd like to hear from you before we get too late.
Oh,
If you want.
um, yeah, I think when you were saying we needed to go back to the beginning, because that's, there's so many changes in the stories from well, I sent you some things through the email, but just from the beginning, things have changed that they signed off on, and then they come to court and they say something different, and they come to court and say something different again. I mean,
Exactly.
I don't understand how all that can be. Okay, you're signing and swearing before this judge who you're getting to sign this PCA that this is the correct information. That you had pictures. The girls had pictures from. One said 12:45 was the picture of the bridge,
Something like that.
and then it gets to where later would they just say it was like at almost 2:00, 2:13 or whenever after 2 that the picture of the bridge happened. I mean, that's a big difference in time.
And and it's all ambiguous. Like nothing is ever definitive. Did you see this one? Did you see this one? Did you see this? It's all a female, a male, a 3 males, a 2 males, a 1. It's all BS.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah.
I think,
It's,
sorry to interrupt.
no,
I
you're
think
fine.
this will be, if it goes to court, it's gonna, the sentence, whatever his sentence is gonna be terminated. It'll be not guilty. I think that's what's gonna eventually happen. Because some of my friends that are judges, they seen right through this judge they had. They would not, people in Pennsylvania wouldn't let the judge like that, like Gall is. And I think she got paid off too, like everybody else did.
Well, I think they all benefited quite a bit throughout this 7.5 to 8 years, whatever. They've all benefited.
Hey, that $230,000, that's still up, or is it somebody get that? Is it still, nobody's got that, right?
Well, I believe that Kathy Schenck is demanding it from the court. If that letter from KMS is actually Kathy Schenck, it appears she's demanding it, and we'll see what actually happens to it. I also see some of the troll farm now promoting the fact that she is the one who found Richard Allen. So not only is she demanding it allegedly in that letter, but now it appears the trolls are starting to push her as the one who deserves it. Welcome, Just James.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Sound loud and clear. Perfect.
Awesome.
Welcome in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I don't think if she does, I just wish they would put that money in a trust fund where somebody sets it up and they're in charge of where the money goes to. Don't give it to this Kathy or whoever her name is or what. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing.
They'll
Exactly.
probably all be part of it.
Because as I says, it's all about money, big time money. That's the whole thing. I'm frustrated. I think we're all frustrated about this, but I hate to hear what the sentence is going to be on the 20th, but it's probably not going to be good. That's the bad part about it.
Right.
I mean, I wish the FBI would step in. I'm praying the FBI would step in, but somebody's going to say, but it's not a federal case. Well, then Richard Allen's Constitution wasn't broken. I think his Constitution is a federal, I think. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. What do you think of that, Professor?
I wish I knew the law. I'm almost hoping you get to talk to your judge friends again and
Yeah,
ask.
I'm gonna ask them
Because
they're all retired now. So
I mean, it's clear. It's clear. I mean, I know we have somewhat of a leaning in a certain direction, but I mean, it's almost unanimous here that everyone's feeling the same. And even when I'm on Twitter and the other social media looking around, there's a majority opinion of this sort where people are feeling it's burden of proof has not been met, reasonable doubt was well established, got some violations out of the ass, and and everyone's demanding FBI.
that's what I said a couple times when I go on YouTube. I said FBI should get involved, and they say that it's not a federal case. Then with the drugs and alcohol and all the other things, that's federal stuff too. They're dealing drugs. DEA should have been in this place. The DEA should be investigating apply too, but they won't.
Let's bring James on in. James, what are you feeling tonight? What are you thinking?
Right at this moment, I'm wondering what the options are for sentencing. I heard something today about the maximum and minimum for each of the charges, but I'm not 100% sure what that was, and I don't know what kind of discretion the judge has in sentencing? I was curious about that.
I think he's looking at 130, 65 years for each.
That's
And
akin to what I heard earlier.
and uh-huh.
That sounds like what I heard earlier.
I think it was minimum 44, maximum 65. They're gonna max them 65 a piece. So that's 130. And for each count, but I guess they're gonna be consecutive for each one, but the other three, I think I've heard them mention they might make those concurrent, so 65 total for each one, or for each murdered victim. 65 for Abby and 65 for Livy, and then those are consecutive, one on top of the other, so that makes 130.
I thought it was he only had 2 counts of murder. What's the other 2 for? A kidnapping?
No, it was 3. He had 4 counts for each.
Yeah, the
Oh,
felony
wait.
felony kidnapping.
Felony
No,
murder.
I'm sorry. It was 2 for each, right? A total of 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever the case is, they'll stack the 2 sentences for each victim, and whatever the other charges were, those will be concurrent. So it all ends up being 130. But then again, remember what the rumor is, that he's not gonna make it. And who told me? I can't remember who told me that this appeal may take up to 2 years. He gets sentenced in December, so 25 to 27. Let's say around 2027, he might, if they grant him the appeal, he wins the appeal, then they gotta, set a date. So we're looking around 27, 28 when he would go back. But between now and then, we all heard the rumor. He's got a hit. He's not going to make it. He would be, of course, I suppose that he should have everything to be qualified or classified in prison as PC inmate. And PC, in my experience, you're still around other inmates with similar circumstances. The PC units, the PC dormitories, whatever you want to call them, blocks, it's usually just people who gang members, former gang members, sex offenders, maybe whistleblowers, snitches, that type of people with those type of circumstances. They put them all together, right? There could be 40 inmates in one block. There could be 50. In Texas, these blocks are huge. They house up to 100, 80, 90, 100 inmates. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that gangs exist in this type of blocks. Even if you're a sex offender or whatever, for whatever reason you're in a PC unit or a PC block, there's still the possibility that the right people, the right inmates, could possibly do anything for money, right?
Right.
So I don't know. Let's hope. Speaking with Christy, she believes that I don't know if you guys know, but she was a former, she's a former CEO from her state. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking to about. I know Prof does, but she told me that programs are offered and activities for rehabilitation for this type of uh for inmates with this type of circumstances, in regards to protective custody. So and and then get him like to get used to living in that type of condition and have visits. They're allowed to have visits. In the state of Indiana, I've never been in the prison system in this state, but I've been here long enough to know that Newcastle, the Newcastle unit, is
That's a big one. There's a lot of sex offenders and
yeah, it's that type of it's that type of prison for inmates with that type of charges. Yeah. So and they do offer programming there, to there's many sex offenders who have an out date, you know, have an out date that they're gonna. I mean, 130 years is rough, I just do the math. Uh, but there's inmates who actually are going back out in the world, in the free world, and so they offer programs. And Richard Allen being there, he would certainly qualify for these programs, and uh, Christie is hopeful that he might be able to be protected and program and have visits and establish some kind of routine for Richard so that he can make it to the time when he would be able to have a new trial. She's hopeful.
I'm
So,
thinking outside the box. I think the FBI is investigating this in a certain way without them knowing that they're there. I think they were watching this hearing. There was probably FBI agents in that courtroom watching all this. My guts telling me that.
I mean, I didn't see very many because I did a lot of walking. I walked through alleys. I walked through the main sidewalks, all except for the one that was blocked with the barricades for law enforcement. But I really didn't see many people in suits.
Okay.
There was a lot of state officers. There was ISP. There was, of course, officers from all surrounding counties who came to help with the security outside the building. There was, of course, Carroll County officers, and there was the city police patrolling, moving around the whole time, around kind of like me. Just some were walking, and there was others driving around. Um, I didn't really see a lot of them, but there were some. And you're right, there could have been. I don't know because I never made it inside the courtroom, but there could have been some there watching. But if they were very few, very few. Mostly the law enforcement that was there were in uniform, whether it was ISP, county, or city. Uh, but quite frankly, I I lost a lot of hope in these agencies. even the FBI, because this people behind whatever it was that, you know, contributed to the decision of the jurors. I'm pretty sure there's FBI people involved in that. You know, it's people, wealthy people, FBI, state agencies, local agencies, county agencies, fire departments, EMS, and then wealthy individuals of all sorts of places and communities. And so you know, I mean, yeah, the FBI needs to look into this and all that. But I mean, I quite frankly have lost hope that the right agents are afraid to. I mean, look at what happened to the one guy over there in Terre Haute. You know,
I
and
think the FBI knew something when they got kicked out of Delphi. They knew something was going on.
yeah,
Because I thought the state of Indiana is part of the United States, isn't it? That's what my history told me.
Yeah, I want to bring the vibe up because I'm not going to be a defeatist like this. They're going to have to do something, and we just don't know what it's going to be. And we can't stop talking. You know, we can't.
No.
well, you're optimistic, Prophet, and I am, but I mean, yeah, we have to, I guess, everybody chip in a little bit of whatever you can, and be optimistic. Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot of work to be done, and the thing is that you have to find the right people in these agencies who are willing to put their life on the line.
Well, no, I'm saying you don't think that they want to bring things to justice. I think they do. It's that this is all got to play out in time. You know,
Yeah,
I know it's a rough day. It's been a rough day, but it's just a day. It's not the end of the road.
right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But when I was listening to the other channels and the other side, and you know, I hear them say that it is over. You know, it was hard to listen. You know,
Well, that's their propaganda. That's what fuck
mhm.
them. Fuck
There's
that.
no way nobody's going. He's not going to get another one. This is it.
No, it's propaganda, and we're
Evidence.
not gonna have it.
The
So
amount of evidence was, yeah. It's what fucking evidence, man. These people are. It's just hard to listen, but I mean, you know, I went there and I go to listen to them because it just shows the contrast of how these people, they're just plain and simple ignorant, man. I mean, there's no evidence, there was no DNA, there was no. I mean, the whole investigation, it was um, a lot of flaws and errors, and you know, I mean, you laid them out, Prof, when you started the live. You know, the witnesses said things that, you know, would had clearly cleared Richard. Uh, Weber, the Weber thing with the van and all that, the way he was treated, and the confessions, in my opinion, though, to me, they were not confessions. You know, they sounded more like someone who's just talking garbage, you know. And they were very short statements. Of course, I didn't get to listen to these recordings, but what was reported by almost everybody as the days went on. It's like, I did it. I killed Abby and Libby. And I guess the one most damning confession was when whatever was said about the van interrupting him. But
Yeah, but
there
listen, Noe, I
there's-
don't want to argue about all that because all of that's bullshit. Like it's already been.
we're not arguing, Prof.
No, I mean I don't want to argue their
I'm
points
giving my
because all of that's
perspective.
been
You know, I
proven.
came here to give my perspective. You know.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
And that's what I'm agreeing.
All of that was proven that he was being medicated, undergoing these psychotic breaks. He was being fed information from Dr. Walla, right from the YouTubes and Facebook groups, right to him. So all of those points they're making, we've been over it ad nauseum, and there's no use in like constantly repeating that. Like those gaslighting points they want to spread like are to beat you down. They are to brainwash you. That's the purpose of the PR. You know, it's to like it's mind control. It's to control the frameworks that your thoughts are in, and that's what they've been doing for years. Like remember, I'm saying that from the day after the murders until now, they've done it, and of course they're doing it tonight because they feel they're having a huge party and they're being validated.
Mhm.
But what they won't admit to are all the facts in the case, like that the judge was biased, that there was zero evidence, that there was a obstruction of justice in terms of not allowing a defense to present exculpatory evidence, and there was conflicts in the timeline, there were conflicts in the witness statements, and all the shit that actually matters.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Prof.
Yeah, they want these people, they want to argue like this mind control propaganda, and that's why that's not what we don't allow it, because that's the
Can I
type
ask-
of shit that has fooled a lot of people. Those who go and they've only known this from watching a little installment on Court TV or something. They don't know the case at all. All they know is like that basic version of the propaganda. And so it's like that's the thing that people have to go through before they come into these venues where we actually talk about what it really is. And what I'm thinking is, what is the jury going to think when they come into the real world and they get all of this? They get a dose of all of this.
Do you really think that these 12 people, what is your opinion about these 12 jurors? Like, how do we know that they had not been following the case, or they had not heard about the case beyond 2017?
Guys, before I'm going to get ready and get some sleep. We'll talk to you guys later. Nice meeting you, Professor, and everybody else.
Okay.
I'll see you when you're back on again.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay.
Good night.
Night.
Who are the other two guests here? Okay.
Well, now we got just James and Deanna.
James and Anna. Okay.
Just James.
I just want, I'm asking so that I know who I'm with. No specific reason, but yeah, how do we know that? Probably I had already heard bits and pieces, Like I put myself in their place. Like if I would have been a juror, when I before 2022, so let's say between 2017 and 2022, I knew that two girls had gone missing in Delphi, Indiana, and I knew that they had been found the next day, deceased, and I knew that, well, it had gone cold, and then I knew that there was a guy on the video picture and a video of the guy, and I also knew that there was a voice recording of supposedly who this guy was, who was identified as Bridge Guy. So I knew that much. And then in 22, then I knew what Kagan Klein was feeding us in there and others outside. So, I mean, that's what I knew, right? So then you go to all these people who were the potential jurors. I think they interviewed like 100 or 200. Does anybody know?
I think
That's
that's
a
about
lot.
the range, but
200.
I'm assuming that there's something here. There's something afoot here. Like,
So imagine what each and one of these people, how much they knew, right? And then now we're saying, well, we got the best 12 or 16, right? Because they had 16, right? We got the best 16 who don't know anything about the case. How do we know that?
something went on. I'm telling you, I can only speculate about what went on, but something went on, because absolutely not 12 out of 12, meaning 100% of anybody is going to buy this. So
Yeah.
something went on.
And as the days were going by, I mean, we all clearly, I already explained how I watch certain channels who are on this side, and then other channels that are on the other side, and the local mainstream, right? And I mean, I watch bits and pieces of each one of these, right? But we all saw as the days went by, since this all started, it was clear, man, that the defense was leading this. We're ahead, even to the point where that Richard Allen was comfortable enough to agree with the attorneys that it was time to rest early, because they thought that it might have been, a little risky to go longer, and they didn't really have much to. I mean, what, they had inmates? They were going to bring inmates to testify. So, yeah, I mean, even Richard Allen agreed. I mean, let's take our chances now while we're ahead. Everybody knew that the defense was ahead. And I'm not just saying everybody here in Indiana, the whole world knew that the defense was ahead. What happened? And you remember, how they also said that these jurors were allowed to ask questions, and so every day, they were asking good questions, and the way these, especially like lawyer Lee and Bob and the lawyers, Andrea, who were there for everything and every day, the reports were, these lawyers are freaking out with what they did throughout the investigation, and what they did to the way they housed them. So what happened?
Remember when Andrea witnessed Holman, and she came back that day and she totally changed? Like, she totally freaked out. Do you guys remember that? It was one of the first several days when when Holman was on the stand, and he was being all cocky and weird, but then by the end of the day, he was all downtrodden and quiet. And boy, she came back furious, like a marked change. And no, it was very obvious that the prosecution was looking very bad, and a very weak case, and there was a lot of reasonable doubt. And I don't know. I what I was bewildered with is the defense resting soon, but I thought they must feel real good about it, or why would they rest like at a third of the way through their presentation? I didn't understand it, but yeah, I think there's this consensus of what the hell happened. Everyone's blindsided. You know?
Well, me being there and having um, spoke to people really close to the defense team, the strategy was that we're way ahead, and did you notice that the defense mostly brought experts and professionals to the witness stand, and after that they were going to start. I think the list was somewhere around 150 witnesses, but I may be wrong, but I think that's what it was. Mostly were inmates. Remember that?
Yeah, like James Chadwell was on there, and it was like, how did that even pop up?
Who?
James Chadwell from, I guess, from Lafayette. He had been in the earlier days when they were looking for a match to the bridge guy suspect. He's one that popped up. He was arrested for kidnapping the minor child and
What I had,
at
yeah,
his
what I
home.
had heard was that Richard Allen said he can't go on. Well, what really hit him was when they showed the videos of him hurting himself and eating his feces and nude in his cell. After that, I started hearing that Richard Allen was going back into this psychosis mode. And then soon after that, within days, I started hearing that he had agreed to let's take a chance. I mean, while we're ahead, and
Yeah, that's hard for me to buy, though. I've told you that. That's hard to buy. It's really hard to buy.
yeah, but I heard this stuff from people who are very close to the defense team, and it is hard to buy, but they feel like they were ahead, and let's take our chance, right? Um, uh, and
I don't.
but I mean, shoot, even where they were at, they were in a good position. It's got to do with the jurors, man. Something happened in there, and that lead just didn't mean shit.
Maybe it was when they threw Mullen in.
Hey, Deanna, can you speak up? You're a little quiet.
I said maybe it's when they swore Mullen in to be watching the jury. I took zero trust in him for sure.
Okay, let me say something that happened yesterday. I think it had to do with the jurors had requested to view something. Okay, nobody was supposed to know that. Nobody was supposed to know what the jurors were doing. Okay, and I heard people mention that the judge was mad. How did that get out into YouTube? How? And then I heard people say, well, the jurors were speaking to ISP. And that's the only way it could have gotten out. I guess ISP had were there escorts?
The security at the hotel, you mean? Yeah.
Behind the security, yep. So I don't know. I heard it through the street, the crowd and stuff. That's That would have been the way where that leaked out. So during the process of the deliberations, right? Somehow YouTube found out that the jurors were requesting to review certain pieces of the evidence.
Yeah, and the guy, Aspen Connor is who it was, he even said what it was that they were wanting to review, and it was the interview or the interrogation.
Okay, well, that's Troll Farm. So that confirms that Troll Farm was getting it directly from ISP then.
And the name that pops up is Holman
Aspen Connor
or
he
ISP.
recorded on his live streams because I went and watched it.
Well, no, we were not supposed to know that.
But I mean, they said exactly what it was that he was wanting to review. They wanted to review the bridge guy voice.
The voice,
And they wanted the interrogation of Richard Allen. That's what
well, I heard that the judge was pissed about that.
Well, hold on, Noe, but where does the name Holman? You just mentioned Holman.
Yeah, that's the name that I'm hearing is responsible for, because ISP was in charge of escorting and the security.
Where are you hearing Holman though? In court?
Well, I'm not gonna say who told me that, Prof. But I can tell you in private, but I'm not gonna tell you here.
Shit, why not? Blast him. Blast him. I mean, if someone has knowledge that Holman is talking to a YouTuber about what the jury's doing.
No.
Jury tampering, jury interference. I mean, that's
it was during the day, and Hidden True Crime, she had put it on and said who said that to her, and then I went there, and it was straight on his live, him saying exactly. I'll send you the Prof.
Yeah, and I'll tell you in private, Prof. I'm not gonna say it, okay? So don't push me to, okay? You know.
Yeah, I'm making a point though that someone has knowledge. You're alleging that someone has knowledge that Holman, they're alleging, was somehow getting information from the jury to the YouTubers.
Well, alleging.
Is that the allegation?
That's the allegation.
That's what we have to follow on then.
Yeah, that's and whoever ISP members were in charge of the security to and from the hotel and the court building in Delphi. I don't know where these people were staying. I don't know if they were staying in Lafayette or Logansport. I would say Lafayette is closer and it has a lot more hotels. But whatever it was, and if they're staying in Lafayette, dude, who the fuck is in charge of the Lafayette Post? Do you know?
Well, when I it was only about maybe an hour. I mean, since they were requesting information, so I mean, it was like during the day when everybody was sitting outside. But yes, I'll send it to you, Prof. What I got. I didn't hear anything about Holman, but I was trying to figure out how did this guy get this information in the middle of the day when this is going on and nobody's allowed to be up there. How did he get it?
Yeah, whose microphone is making all that noise? Do you know?
I'm making coffee, but
there's a lot of banging. It's been on 10 minutes. It's been doing that. Everyone say, okay, Truth Seeker saying Becky had dinner for all of the troll farm and she invited them and she told them what Holman told her to the so Becky's telling the trolls what Holman is saying because Holman's babysitting the jury.
Okay, there you go.
So from Holman to Becky to the troll farm, which means goes back to Holman.
Someone said that Holman was someone said that Holman was MS source for many things, but it could have gone through other names that you've just mentioned. Now that I didn't know, I didn't hear that up until now. But what I'm telling, what I heard was that ISP was in charge of the security of these people, and yeah, yes, this I heard this yesterday, and the judge was mad because YouTubers were talking about stuff that the jurors had requested to review, and you can't do that because this is the deliberation stage of the fucking trial, and nobody's supposed to know what they're fucking wearing, what they're using, what they're talking about, where they're sleeping. How does that happen? She was mad, and I mean it was to the point where, like, oh shit, what's that word when they disqualify the jurors? Starts with an N. Nullification. Is that right? Anybody? Prof?
Mhm.
Sounds right.
Okay. They were worried that this was going to happen because of that. That's basically a fucking leak. And now did Deanna leave? Looks like she did. We have Deanna here telling us that
It was Troll Farm Aspen.
there you go. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. It was Troll Farm Aspen announcing on YouTube
Yes.
those details, and then the times that I spend with Aspen, he clearly has told me that he's in contact with the family members of Liberty. And also tonight, what I heard on Frank Meister's presentation was that he has clear communication with the family of Liberty. And Frank said, and he also said it yesterday, because like I said, I review bits and pieces of these channels on that side. Okay. He also mentioned it yesterday that he was almost certain that what the jurors wanted to do was review the voice of the bridge guy saying guys down the hill, and compare that voice to the voice of the interviews of Richard Allen while in custody. And he was 100% sure that that's what the jurors were reviewing. And Frank Meister is not supposed to know that, or anybody.
Nobody.
Okay? Nobody. Okay? That's what I'm trying to bring here to you guys to explain it. And the judge was mad. And now there was a possibility of nullifying this group, this jury. Okay? And I heard that yesterday, which would have been Sunday.
So that puts Steve Mullen and Jerry Holman in the jury. Yep.
Yeah.
And Troll Farm reporting
In the spot.
the results. Yeah. Almost as if it's an attempt to get the Troll Farm credibility by feeding them info ahead of time that they knew was going to come out and be verified to help prop up Troll Farm. Oh, did we lose Noe?
No, I'm here. I'm for I don't know how fucking long I've been standing here in the kitchen. I'm trying to make a cup of coffee. I can't even think, bro. I have the cup over there, the coffee's over here, and I can't put them together. But yeah, I'm here. Where's the fucking cup? Needs water for what?
And so it looks like Holman and Mullen. I mean, it's going back to a conspiracy that none of us want to be here talking about, which is that Holman and Mullen interfere with the jury somehow.
It goes back to those two motherfuckers.
But proving it is kind of the hard part. And at this point, someone like Jerry Holman, for example, might just feel like invincible with everything they've gotten away with. You know, clear as day, plain view for all the world not to see, but, you know, secondhand information. We've heard accounts of the testimony. And, you know, he just kind of made an ass of himself on the stand. And and he doesn't, you know, but it's of no consequence. So they'll, you know, trick and smoke and mirror anybody watching or listening and change stories and shift gears. And it's, you know, he's above it all. He is the law. So he's so empowered that, you know, maybe they influence the jury or someone on the jury, and what's anybody going to do about it? It wouldn't surprise me.
Because they absolutely rule the county. Yeah.
I mean, hearing the verdict today, you know, part of me was like, what? And part of me is like, well, I remember when the attorneys were dismissed from the case or whatever she did, you know, last year before they went to the Supreme Court, you know, and I didn't panic as much because I knew at some level that was going to get addressed in a, you know, higher form. But proof of jury tampering, or even getting the one juror, if that could be proven, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But what would happen? Is that the coffee done?
Just about.
Oh, right on.
Oh my God, it's so late for coffee. I can't handle it. But, yeah. Wow, man.
Yeah, bro.
This has to be looked into. And I know all these attorneys that are on this case, they're going to start looking into this. They might hear some of this tomorrow. This has to be looked into.
Yeah. I mean,
Because it's inconceivable what we just witnessed. I guess that bringing it full circle, which is that what happened today. And you're right, James. It's kind of like that moment when they tried to remove Baldwin and Rozzi twice. You know, it's like, are you kidding me? You guys give no fucks. You're literally gonna try to do like in wide open broad daylight. You're gonna try to do this. It's a boldness. Remember that phrase that absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know, it just, oh God, shivers. Give me the shivers here.
No, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit if that kind of thing surfaced. And what happens if it is proven? I mean, a total 180 for the defense side. You know, nothing surprises me so far in this case. It's so weird. You know, it defies all expectations of how the law is supposed to work, and you know, criminal procedure in the state. And yet here we are, you know, almost like they knew in advance what the outcome was going to be, and they had to do at least the charade of having the full trial.
Yeah.
Mock trials like in Iran or Soviet Russia or you know, pre-World War II Germany. And then, you know, it happens right here in the state where I reside.
oh, you're in the state,
I am.
James. I haven't met you. I don't know if we ever been on chat together or.
Probably just in the chat.
Okay.
I don't do a lot of
I don't
video.
recognize you. Like there's people who came up to me and and were saying hi to me, and I did not recognize them, and so I would have to ask their name right there. And like, I met Nancy Drew, for example, and like this other lady that who I spent time with today. I guess, and now I'm meeting you, but you're in the state. I shared some things with um, with this lady that have happened to me here in the state in the past 25 years, right? And I just didn't recognize that back then, you know. And it was, of course, in a different level because, you know, I've never been charged with murder, a murder that I did not commit, right? But I had seen it even in my county. I've seen them in action. But it's this is the kind of shit that I used to watch on TV growing up, man. You know, who doesn't remember the Duke of Hazzards? You know,
Them Dukes.
yeah, they got away with everything. They're the homeboys, the good old boys, and then
The police were inept.
remember how the little the commissioner and the two cops, they were always trying to do something crooked or break procedures to nab this two, and they never, you know, I mean, I only used to see this kind of shit on TV, man, and
Traps.
and it was funny, yeah, and it was funny and all that, but to see it in real life and to live in the state, and now this case, quite honest, man, and frankly, I'm gonna tell you, it's scary. It's scary to live, to be a citizen and to live in the state of Indiana and watch them get away with this. Like Snake said on his show, this could be you, it could be me, it could be our children next, and even it could be a troll farm member. This force has no respect for who the fuck you are. If they want you down, they're gonna put you down.
It's almost like whatever the truth actually is about what happened, what transpired, is so more keeping that hidden from ever being known by other than the select few who do know. Will go to no ends, and it's got to go up higher than the judge. Something in the state government. It could be bigger than that. Because where's the attorney general or the governor or anything in this? I heard the Todd Rocketa, the Indiana attorney general, was at one of the trial sessions. I don't know if that's true or not. I had a lot of drugs back in the 60s, so my memory isn't what it used to be. But
there's no way you're that old. There's no way you're
that
old, man. Come on. Wow. Dude.
Man,
doing well for your age.
Sometimes Prof and I are discussing stuff. Like earlier, we're talking about the president, well, Trump, and the name Pence came up. Man,
yeah, Mike Pence.
I couldn't even remember. Pence was the vice president. You know, that's not too long ago, man. And I was like, oh yeah, and Pence was the governor here.
Yes.
Right. And I was like, how the fuck did I forget about that dude? You know, just a while back. But yeah, so I hear you, James. And my partying years were in the 80s and 90s. So I don't know, man. It's just sometimes the memory just goes somewhere else.
Getting older these days. No, but I mean, I think I heard something to that effect. I don't know if it was on Bob Mata's show or Andrea's, I check in when I can and usually have it on the background when I'm doing other stuff, but I'm kind of been monitoring it as the trials commenced. But I thought I heard something about that. The Indiana AG and staff member were present at one of the earlier days of the proceedings when it was still the prosecution's show at that point. Don't know if it's true or not, and I can't quote the source. I made a mental note about that, and then it just came up. But I mean, why are they there? Are they monitoring to see if this is going smoothly like it's supposed to? How invested are they in it? Are they monitoring it to look to see if there's anything nefarious at work? I don't know. You don't know who to trust, but if it's somebody's pulling the strings and they're able to do that with a state Supreme Court appointed special judiciary, how high up does it go and why? Who's it benefiting? Whose secret is it? Almost like actually revealing the truth about what happened would be akin to like full alien disclosure.
Yeah,
something of that nature.
It's as if it would take down the entire state and government of Indiana. I mean, Jesus, man, come on.
Like, there's something new, like an adrenochrome farm, or are they farming out that from children? And it's not out of the realm of possibility. There's all kinds of conspiracies that go around and have, it's the Jeffrey Epstein thing. Who knows? Maybe Thor and Odin are real, and that would be have to be revealed, officially to the mass public. Odin is supreme. He's here. He's throwing lightning bolts. He's really mad. I don't know. I'm being flippant, but also trying to lighten the mood. But I mean, it's that. It sounds far-fetched, but maybe it's not. It goes up to some level. Somebody's hiding something. It's probably, money or some kind of power, but it's something that they are at the higher echelons of our government in the state are doing their best to keep that out of the public eye and off the radar with as much smoke and mirrors as possible. I don't know. It's just weird. Or it could be real. I could see that.
Thank you, Truth Seeker. Yeah, I see you.
Where's Truth Seeker?
I'm trying to catch up with this chat here. Let's see.
Okay. Let me say hi to her. Okay.
Yeah, she's here.
Hi,
In there.
Hi, Truth Seeker, and it was nice meeting you and spending time with you and working with you on those posters. Now that's all I wanted to say to her, bro.
Yeah, Starlight says it seems like fiction. This whole damn thing, but it always has. It always has. Yeah, there's never every day everything's a surprise. So you get used to them where it's never a surprise in this case. But I gotta admit, it was a blindsiding today. It was a shock, and it's just when everything is leading a certain way, and then boom, like you get hit from another direction. It's like it's disorienting.
Was it noted of any visible reaction of any of the defense attorneys that were present when the guilty verdict was handed down? I didn't hear anything to that effect. I assume everything was civil and calm, as the judge had mandated, but they just calmly leave, or
Yeah,
anybody know anything?
I did not. I know one of them, right? And it's not Rosie or Baldwin. I just know him by first name. Can't think of his last name, but I didn't talk to him. Uh, they were just calm, walking with their head down. And the family obviously was, there was tears, and there was tears in Bob Mata's eyes. He was holding Kathy's arm on one side, right? And or no, Janice, I'm sorry. And because Janice she was really in tears. Um, but the attorneys, they were, I think, yeah, they were just, they walked at a slow pace with the family. Sneh and I when they reached the steps, Sneh and I joined them, and there was not a whole lot of, the only thing that came out was, "It's not over." That's the only thing I could hear. It's not over. This, can't believe it. But yeah, I didn't see much reaction from them during that walk from the steps to their vehicles. No, it was just unbelievable, man. I'm sure they're frustrated, and I mean, the way I felt when Sneh and I went back to the other side of the building and where all the people were, I'm sure they probably felt 10 times more frustrated than me. Because outside of the situation that happened with the leaked photos, I mean, they did excellent work. They worked hard, man, for this case, for the trial, and to get this, I mean, just imagine what goes through their head.
But you can't help but wonder if maybe they knew that no matter what, the jury was going to decide this way or that. Maybe they have their spies too. Maybe they knew something that the public doesn't. Maybe they decided, you know what, we're just going to pull back, save all this stuff for appeal, which is, probably going to get a lot more attention.
Yeah.
That will be televised.
Well, would it still be in the Carroll County? Does anybody know?
Probably not. I don't know what district they're in. I think there's
It goes to a different
5 or 6 appellate court districts in the state of Indiana.
Okay, so it's gonna be a
So it
different.
comes down to what district they're in or what they file it in.
Mm-hmm.
They could request a change of venue as well. It could be, tried in a different part of the state.
You know what the next step's gonna be for this force is. The next step is to kill them. It's been clearly announced.
Oh, Richard. I mean,
I'm sorry, James. They've been announcing it for a few days. For a week.
that's a fear.
But we're not gonna focus on that and manifest it. But they've been announcing it like shamelessly. Hey, Radar made it in. What's up, aka Radar? My bestie. What's up? Sunflower Soul made it back too. You guys are coming in like you went get drunk or something.
Hey, Prof.
What's up, Noe?
While I was asleep, who else joined? Who else came in?
What do you mean? When?
Yeah, on the while I was asleep.
Oh, no one else. We just
So just the two that were there when I came in, the two ladies.
uh-huh.
It's
And
still
Mark.
Mark. Okay.
I did a whole other live stream before this one, and it crashed for some reason badly. And so
Oh,
this
yeah,
is like
no, I
literally
remember that
our
one.
number, probably
Because I
probably
kept
our
going.
number 5 or 6 right now.
I kept going from being out there recording footage to checking out your channel, and so I knew you had one earlier, but I was
I
talking
had one
about.
this morning, and then I had one just now, and then this is the third.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been a fucking circus, man.
I missed that. Did anybody did Silky come in?
She came in the chat. Yeah.
Chat. Okay.
I think everyone's absolutely exhausted from a long emotional day, but you know, it's kind of good to have a place to unwind and like I was saying earlier, for everyone to just be able to talk and kind of like
Yeah.
get it out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I needed. You know, I almost didn't want to let Snake leave, but he had to return the vehicle, so he had to get on the road. So
The white van?
uh-huh.
Oh,
And then when Julie immediately got busy herself and got on the panel with Teresa, so I ended up processing my thoughts, and I'm really grateful for this viewer. She's you know who it is, Prof, because we called you. I'm really grateful that now I have good friends in Lafayette. I was staying in Lafayette. I stayed in Lafayette every night. It was a shorter drive for me to go to Lafayette rather than come to Wabash and then back to Delphi. So,
oh yeah, that's a haul.
yeah, Lafayette is only 15 minutes from Delphi. So yeah, and I really liked the town. I got to go to West Lafayette. I played there one night, and then I just have a good little circle now in Lafayette. I didn't know people there. I've been through Lafayette many
That's a
times.
cool little town.
But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool little town, and I know some people there now.
Where'd you play in West Lafayette?
Where?
Yeah.
I played at a place called Gray House Coffee and Supply.
Ooh, that one I don't know. I was down there for a while.
It's by the tap.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right around the corner from the tap.
Chauncey area.
So it's right. It's right on the strip. Where you see nothing but college kids back and forth, screaming and running, and nowadays, they're on their whatever they're called, scooters and skateboards, and then the strip with all the clubs. But the gray house Coffee and Supply, it was a coffee shop. It's people go there and sit down, and you see them with their laptops, and it's a more calm place. But then you cross the street and hit the strip, they're wild. Elbow to elbow on both sides of the sidewalk, the street, on the sidewalks. Yeah, so I played there Friday night.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, it's cool that you got to go out and do that.
I was, yep. And then I made other connections. I've met a couple of owners. Now this would
have been Saturday night, and it was in Lafayette, so across the river. I met some people and exchanged contacts and shared a couple links, and I mean, there's a good live music scene there.
Oh,
In
hell
Lafayette.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
Like,
So,
great place to gig
uh-huh,
if you
yeah,
can get in the right circles.
right, right. Yeah, I have at least I'm gonna say five, maybe a little more good contacts, that I made throughout this weekend and all that. So yeah, I spent time there, and I liked it. I liked Lafayette. So yeah, I needed somewhere to go. I certainly wasn't gonna stay in troll patrol mode.
Oh,
Now that was a complete success. They basically, I'm not gonna make it a big deal or anything, but what was announced that was gonna happen didn't happen. I ended up giving this art drawing to the superintendent. It made it to the right hands, and I didn't see any guns in my face, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Wait, so Noe, so
Mm.
no gropers,
No,
heroin dealers, stalkers, um, uh, uh, gamers,
flashers,
troll
peeping
farm
toms.
came
no. Well,
and put a gun in your face.
no, but
Oh wow!
we experienced the drunken troll, and then the screaming troll.
Oh, I have another question. Did any dark web chomo come to your house and take the Doug
Mm-mm.
Carter drawing?
No, because my
You're
when I
safe.
started going to patrol the streets of Delphi, Indiana, I was gonna take that portrait with me, and I forgot. I forgot to take it, and so this time when I knew it was gonna be my last trip going there, which was this weekend. I made it a point not to forget. So every time I come back home from Delphi, because I was going straight to work in the mornings, right? And so I wouldn't get home till late, because then from work usually I'll have a meeting for the most part of the week. So I would come home and open the door, and I'm like, it's still there, right? The drawing's still there. And then this last week trip that I made this weekend, I made it a point to remember to take it with me. Matter of fact, man, I'll just tell you that I started driving Friday night. No, it was Friday daytime. I started driving, and I got on Highway 24 to go west, and I said, "Oh shit, the drawing!" So I made it a point. I turned back and came home and grabbed it, and then left to Delphi. So when I got there Friday, the portrait was with me in my car. So now, then I did a stupid live that it was a Troll Patrol live, but I wasn't aware that my reception was so shitty, because I could see fine on my phone and I was not reading chat. But when I saw the replay, the audio was terrible and the visuals worse. So I took it down immediately, but I showed the portrait then. The portrait is in Delphi, Indiana. And then I put it up with all the signs, and I started walking around. And when the day concluded, I ran into Mr. Carter, and I said, "You know what, man? I'm just gonna give it to him. Fuck it." And I gave it to him. But yeah, no signs of them. So yeah, the Troll Patrol was a success. What was not a success was the important thing, which was
the truth come out and the right people go to prison. That was a complete failure. Only the bailiff can interact with alternate jurors. No one else is allowed to communicate with. Well, I mean, how did Frank and Aspen find out what the jurors were up to a day ago or 2 days ago?
There's something awry in Delphi. My favorite catchphrase. Other than "fuck the troll farm." Yeah, something is wrong here. I mean, I think everyone's realizing it. You know, everyone is realizing it. Something is wrong because there's no way that things go a certain direction and then all of a sudden it's a 180 at the last second. I mean, like in physics, it can't happen just with G-force. You know, if you're operating a fighter jet in a certain way, and then you suddenly directions 45 degrees, you're going to crash because it doesn't work, and it doesn't work this way. It doesn't work this way. So something happened, and guess what? It will come to the surface, and we'll find out. It appears that more crimes have been committed. Yeah.
I'm still here. Just had to mute for a moment.
So I'm in Wabash. And are you very far from me?
Yeah, so I used to live in the Lafayette area. I worked for. I moved down there to accept a position at Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez, more than several years ago. But I also we lived in Lafayette proper, and then when my daughter was about to be born, we were kind of concerned about the crime rate right around where we were at. We were in the thick of things. We were like 9th and Columbia, I think. So we were like right downtown. So, you know, there'd be gunshots and stuff in the middle of the night. And we're like, no. So we looked, you know, our lease was ending, and we had the option to renew or whatever. So we started looking around for rental houses outside of Lafayette proper. And we looked at all these little towns, you know, knowing, you know, I was familiar with a lot of the towns around Lafayette, West Lafayette area. And we did look at a house in Delphi. I seriously considered it.
Really?
You know? You know, we ended up settling on another nearby town. It wasn't in Carroll County, but another adjacent county.
Okay.
And
you're in the area over there.
yeah, I was down there, and I played music too. So I'm, you know, was really enmeshed in the music scene for several years. You know, it came to you know, changing career path and move out of the area to another part of the state where you know, my family's from and where I grew up. So it's odd to know that how many people around my area have never heard of this case. They don't know anything about it.
Wow.
Not on their radar. So we got we're in the Chicago market, I guess, technically. So the main, you know, media news sources and such are gonna, you know, we're like the armpit of Chicago, you know, this part of Indiana, but you know, it's a populous region, and it's very different here than other parts of the state.
Right.
I know that, you know, I was having just all of a sudden having some trouble with law enforcement. You know, I never, ever, ever had a problem ever. And then, you know, and things had gone smooth. And, you know, and I learned my lesson. Don't go to law enforcement for help, you know, because it just escalates things. You know, it was just ridiculousness. Somebody, you know, making money or getting stats or something by taking advantage of people that, you know, possibly could use some intervention by, you know, a law enforcement officer if they were, you know, doing their duty to protect and serve. You know, it wasn't. I ended up, you know, I got in some trouble, and you know, I had some opportunities to move back. But I talked to my father, and he had some advice to me. You know, he had traveled all over the state for his occupation, and he said one thing about those little towns down there where you're at, there's a lot of nepotism, there's a lot of, you know, old boy network. You know, they make their own rules and they cover it up, and you know, you'd best like, you know, just trying to get me move my family back, you know, closer. I get that, but you know, he was right that things make a little more sense around here. There's a lot of oversight. You know, things can still happen. They have, but you know, he's like, if you're having problems with that around there, you just, you know, you should probably just cut your losses and you know, get out of that area. You know, he knew it was up.
I started out in Warsaw.
Or South Bend area,
yeah, and then so I've been in Goshen, the Fort Wayne area, and then moved when I dated this girl who got the Lilly scholarship, and
right.
we moved to Richmond, Indiana. That's where she.
Oh, there's a college there.
Yeah, there's two of them. There's IU East and Earlham College. And we lived there 4 years. I liked Richmond. And after she graduated, we came back to this area. I ended up in Syracuse because I got a teaching job there. With that's Wabasee Lake. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's a pretty area. And I was there 1 year, and then that story ended with me having to go back to Texas and do some time over there. And when I came back in 2012, after taking care of that thing in Texas, I ended up here in Wabash. Because, you know, I already knew people here, and I had lived here 1 year in the early 2000s, and my circle of friends and family by marriage is here in Wabash. So I've been here since 2014. You know, in 12 I went to Goshen. I had a sibling who let me stay with him and help me find work. You know, I was freshly out of the joint, the big house in Texas. So I came back and I did about 2 years over there in Goshen, Ligonier vicinity. But then I ended up here in Wabash since 2014. I've been here. The longest that I've been in a town during the past 25 years. So yeah, I know the area pretty good, and you know, from Evansville to Richmond to North Central to South Bend, now Lafayette, the other direction towards Angola and Fort Wayne, Kendallville. It's pretty much the whole state I've been to. You know, all the main corners, all the four corners of the state. I don't know if you can consider Evansville Corner because that's on the Wabash River where it
It's
bends.
kind of a part of it. It's down there,
It's down there. It bends.
way down there.
Yeah, it bends down. It bends. The river bends
Vincennes and
east towards like Kentucky and Louisville. Yeah, but yeah, I know the state pretty well. I mean, and throughout the years, man, and I've seen it in my county, and I shared a story that happened in Warsaw in '99, 2000, when I was very new in the state, and now looking back, I see how how it's very real, man. How the system here is, like you just said it right now. You said it very good and clear. They bend the rules. They make their own rules. They sweep things under the rug.
to fit whatever narrative they're selling, and they just, there's no accountability. There's no oversight. If you're not recording everything, it's your word against theirs.
Yeah. I have a friend who is a former prosecutor here in Wabash County, and he was my landlord in 2014 when I decided to come this way from Goshen because, well, I have a huge circle of friends here in Wabash, and he's one of them. And I remember he owns a bar now, and I used to live upstairs in 14. And
Fun living above a bar.
I was a drinker then too.
I did it for a few years.
But
It's got its perks.
yeah, he's cool, a cool guy. But anyway, he's a former prosecutor, and he told me, Cruz, just don't get in trouble because I know these people, they'll do whatever they want.
Well, and that's what they've done with Richard Allen. They've looks like they've done what they wanted. So boldly. That's what I keep saying, but I can't. They're so fucking bold out in the open to do it like this.
Yep.
It's almost like, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, like do something.
Yeah.
Like, do something, bitch. Yeah.
The defense attorneys have gone through every possible exhaustible motion that they could have filed. And they had expert guidance.
Oh, repeatedly,
all over the
repeatedly. Yeah.
I mean, their citations of law were on point. Everything, current and relevant. And, they followed every process and filed everything that needed to be filed, ad nauseum. It almost makes them look like, like reactive abuse. They look crazy for doing it because they're filing all this crazy stuff. Wasting the court's time.
Well, it's like like I was so furious about McClelland's closing state arguments because of how it was emotionally manipulative and gaslighting and they're like totally narcissistic abuse. Like if you go back and read and listen to the retelling of his closing argument, it's infuriating what he did to that jury, and it's almost like that might have been the spell casting right there. I mean, I don't know, man. These people. Well, I mean, every single day, I'll tell you all the truth. Every single day, I'm ready to quit doing this and never fucking think of it another day of my life and never do it again. Ever. And but then every single day I make myself again, the next day.
Huh.
It seems futile. You're bashing your head against the wall like Rick did in solitary confinement, all halogened up. Or Halidol, whatever. They
Both,
to
because aren't
manipulate,
bulbs halogen that we're on 24/7? Yeah.
like 24. It sounds like lab grade meth and and hallucinogens. Like just keep them up and hallucinating and sleep deprived and dehydrated, and see what that does to a person. After several days of that, he'd shadow people and talking crazy and who knows why, and chemically induced psychosis, with mental health problems to begin with. I don't know.
Have you guys thought that when after Richard gets sentenced and he goes through the RDC process and then housed, if he gets housed in Newcastle, he might be housed with Keg and Klein? Imagine if those two are together.
Well, if those two never met and then they finally do,
Yeah, they finally do.
you're like, hey, man.
I haven't talked to Holly in a long time, but I know that she told me they had moved him. I think they moved him twice, but I may be wrong. But I think he might have started in Westville, then to Wabash, and then went to or Michigan City, maybe, then Wabash, and then now he's in Newcastle.
I heard they were closing Michigan City.
Oh, well,
I don't know what their timeline is for that, but
I don't know.
I did hear that was being phased out.
The last thing I heard was that he was at Newcastle. He finally made it to the unit that houses people with, inmates with those type of charges. So there's a possibility that they might meet there behind the walls.
Playing checkers.
Yeah, I used to play chess, man. I never liked checkers. Oh, Snay and I are gonna meet up and do a chess game. And we've also talked about meeting up and playing music together. But it's got to be, for me on my end, I got to give it a few weeks to, I have no inspiration to touch the guitar. But when I was in West Lafayette, I did get inspired to get up and play, man.
There's still a few good open mic nights that go around in the Lafayette area. A couple buddies that run a few of them.
Really cool, man. Maybe you should guide me. You can get my phone number from Prof.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I did talk to someone who I know where there's one for sure, at least. In the downtown area in Lafayette. And then I met this guy.
Digby's on Tuesday, I think.
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday.
That's
Sorry.
it. That's it. Yeah. I met this really cool server there. I ended up actually I'm in contact with her and she guided me pretty good. Yeah. And put me in contact with the owner. And then I went to this other one. It's the oldest pub in Indiana.
The Knickerbocker.
No. It's
that was the oldest. They have the claim Indiana's oldest bar.
It's bourbon and cigar.
Oh, that's a different place then.
It's by like the theater.
Okay.
And
so like Maine, Fifth and Maine.
Yeah, I sat with him he's a Al Capone looking type of guy, dude. He was wearing a suit, had a cigar, and he was really cool, man. We sat. There's a lounge. He's got it's amazing, bro. I really and actually I sat there there was a guy playing. I forgot his name. He was playing some alternative rock. I watched his last set, but while I was meeting with the owner, and yeah, man, he was interested. I and immediately exchanged the contacts, and I shot him some footage, some links. But that's the one that it's supposed to be the oldest. They got pictures of Al Capone on the walls and shit. It's really it's really cool, man. So yeah, I'm in contact with this guy, and then the one you just mentioned, the Digby one. They got a patio.
Yeah.
At big in the stage. Nice stage, man. So yeah, I'm excited about having spent time there in Lafayette and making these contacts. But yeah, man, if you have contact with Prof or email or whatever, yeah, Prof, go ahead and give my number, man, and hit me up, man. Text me, hey, this is James, and then I'll, if you can guide me some, that would be cool, man, for sure.
There's a Facebook group for Greater Lafayette.
Really?
Open mics and jam nights that I think is still active. Because that's when I first moved down there, that was my foot in the door to make contacts, and same thing, talk to, venue owners and do that. That was a big part of my life in that area.
Away from Facebook.
Then I was just down through Lafayette, and I was down in southern Indiana a couple of weeks ago, south of Bloomington area, but we stopped in Lafayette on the way back for a little bit.
And, I like the downtown area in Lafayette, and of course, when you go across the river, it's a little, you can see the difference because of the strip. There's more of a college.
Oh, definitely.
Right, and but I really
line of scantily clad girls and quarter mile long at the door of a neon cactus.
I'm excited.
Used to be anyway. I haven't been out in Lafayette in a long time. It was back in the 60s when I did all those drugs that wiped my memory. No short-term memory. It'll come back to me in a week or two.
What's going on, Prof and Chad?
I think I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm tired now. My eyes are closing.
Okay, well,
it's been an exhausting day.
My God, and yeah, I've probably done about 8 hours of live stream today. I need to back off, but wow, what a day!
It was appreciated. I'm glad you're here doing it, and knowing that you're boots on the ground and that you're able to get the word out for old people like me who can't travel as far. It's hard to see at night now.
Well, yeah, James, nice meeting you here, and get in contact with me. And Prof, thanks for.
We'll be back. I'm all checked out. I'm like usually a lot more verbal and animated. Just like, hey, what's up?
Well, we'll do it again. We'll do it again, up fellas.
Okay. Yep. Thanks, Prof, and thanks to everyone else on chat and the people, the ladies that were here when I joined. So I'm out, James. Nice to meet you, and
you as well, sir.
Take care, guys.
Good night, Noe.
God bless you guys. Thank you. Goodbye. Good night.
As well. Thank you.
Good night, James. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Do it again.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Hey, tell James, please, and Noe, thank you. Please. James has been hanging around the channel for at least a year or two, and he's just never come on. And those of you who might or might not know he's been around for about the same amount of time, but he's come on before. Uh, guys, wow, gosh, I'm really tired, but thanks to everybody who came to the chat too. Great convo, yeah. And in the chat, so in the chat, let me say what's been going on in the chat. Yeah, thank you for thanking the guys. In the chat, they've been discussing the mixing of Haldol and Prozac, and that's been a really interesting thing to watch. And I was assuming something like that about Haldol and Prozac being mixed, and I wish you guys would put a few more in there about how devastating that mixture could be and the type of hallucinations and whatnot it could induce. So, Shay Watson and whoever else was, you guys were talking about Haldol and Prozac. That was awesome. And then before that, the big interest in the chat was hotel. What went down in the hotel, and trust me, we're going to be on that now, okay? And then someone was asking about Todd Click, and look, we've been down that road before, and we can talk about it more. But I'm really tired now to go into it. But yeah, Todd Click. Okay, that was also Shay Watts. Shay Watson bringing the goods tonight. I think that was also Shay talking about Click. But you'll find out about Click if you don't already understand. Like, Click was crucial in the investigation that led to the Franks memorandum, that whole aspect. And then, remember, in March, I believe it was in March, he participated in the hearings. And remember, it was immediately after that, in early April, when they brought these charges against him for some CPS complaints. They brought these criminal charges. And we've been through that before, and we can go back over it. So that's a whole thing. Okay. So let me see what else we got in here. Thank you, everyone. I think everyone needs to go get a good night's sleep. Okay. It's late. Everyone go get some rest, and we'll do it again. Okay. We'll live to fight another day. I'm glad everybody was able to come in and unwind a bit. Oh man, we had some great guests, didn't we? It was great to hear everyone talk, and very concerning about what may have gone on between Holman, Mullen, and whoever else in the jury, and how that got out to the Patties, and then the Patties hosting a troll farm dinner, and then the troll farm going ahead and bringing that information out. We need to look into all of that very extensively, very closely. Pretty interesting. Becky Patty hosting a troll farm dinner, isn't it? Is it not? Am I right or am I wrong? What have we been saying the whole time? Patty family troll farm kind of seems like it, right? I didn't get a dinner. Where's my dinner? Where's Noe's dinner? Where's Rick Snae's dinner? Where's Andrea's and Lawyer Lee's and Mata's and Julie Melvin's dinner? I guess we're not in it for the girls, right? I guess we're not in it for the right reason. Guess we're not in it for truth and justice. I guess. So we don't deserve some cheap ass dinners. So anyhow, let's see what else we got here. Sweet dream, Joe. What a rough one. Go all broken hearted. Yeah, and everyone, look, go wash your face, get all comfy in some comfy bed clothes, and get in the warm bed and tuck all in and get some rest. All right. Some rest. I'm going to do so. But that's what we're dealing with. What's up, Rose Howard? Welcome to the chat. It might be how they were trying to kill him. I'll do research on the drugs. Okay. They had my mom on Haldol and she had terrible hallucinations and heart damage. Hmm. Thanks, Sharon. You guys are being wonderful. He was on Seroquel before prison, but they didn't report prescribing it to him there, I heard. All right. Thanks, James. Thanks, Noe. All right, guys, I'm out of here, y'all. I'm tired as hell. Thanks to all the great people in the chat, for sure. And listen, if you're on the replay, this is what you need to do. Please hit the like. Leave a comment down below. We love the comments. The comment sections are awesome. I always love reading them. And hey, also support the channel with the super chats, the buy me a coffees, the PayPal, Cash App, merchandise, blah, 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 blah. Support the channel, super chat, super thanks, all the ways to support the channel. We appreciate it. And we really do. And we'll hope to see you on the next one. And if you're bored watching this and knowing that it's ending, go explore the channel. Look at some previous live streams, especially the Truth About Delphi 1 and 2. Look at the timeline videos I've made. Look at the symbolism at the crime scene and all that sort of thing. Okay. We got all kind of stuff for you to go check out. So go check it out. And I love you. All right. And so, oh, by the way, I got these amazing shorts that Noe got for me, including the amazing freak out of Kimberly Stavrakis Withers losing her shit on Noe. And I got to give it to good old Sarah Elrod Osbrook for trying to calm her down and her insane lashing out at Noe for no reason whatsoever. That was pretty amazing. We got Frank Meister, also known as Shane Kersage, going absolute fucking berserk bonkers, losing his mind, being a raging maniac, and also threatening to kill Richard Allen while carrying a firearm and being comforted by a police officer. We got Drunk Marv. Drunk Marv. Hungover, arriving at court, and what we got coming for you that I haven't shown you yet. The next uploads, I got Drunk Marv vomiting all over the fucking sidewalk, disrespecting the memory of Abby and Libby outside the courthouse. But yeah, no, she gets a thank you patty dinner, and we got a bunch of other shit, but it's funny. We have the Troform freakouts. We got Jinx assaulting Bob Mata. We got that on film. We got so much. Also the insane Angela Hope Teninsky, or whatever the hell her name is. The entire troll farm basically assaulting and freaking out on all of us normal folks, and that's pretty interesting. They really need to lay off the meth and alcohol, but we got all of that. So that's all in the shorts and all that, and there'll be a couple more coming, but that's what's up, y'all. Been trying to make the best of it. Okay. So we'll see you later, and cheers to you all. Thanks for being here. God bless and good night. Okay. And if you see the troll farm, go wash your face. It's gonna hurt your eyes, and you won't catch anything. All right. Good night.